I was looking forward to the graduation party. It was supposed to be a night of fun and celebration with my best friends, David and John. We had been through a lot together in high school, and we were ready to move on to the next phase of our lives. We had already been accepted to different colleges, so this might be the last time we would hang out as a trio. We met at David's house, where his parents had agreed to let us use their car. David was the driver, John was the navigator, and I was the entertainer. I had brought along a special surprise for them, something I had found at an occult store downtown. It was a thick, leather-bound book with strange symbols on the cover. The shopkeeper had told me it was a rare and valuable tome that contained the secrets of ancient mystics and spells. He had sold it to me for a bargain price, saying he needed to get rid of it quickly. He had also warned me not to open it unless I knew what I was doing. I didn't believe him, of course. I thought it was just a cool prop for a prank or a joke. I wanted to impress my friends with my daring and adventurous spirit. I wanted to make this night memorable and exciting. I wanted to have some fun. I showed them the book as we drove to the party. They were both intrigued and amused by it. David, who was into horror movies and comics, asked me if it was real or fake. John, who was more practical and skeptical, asked me how much I had paid for it. I told them it was a genuine artifact of dark magic, and that I had gotten it for a steal. I also told them that I had a plan to use it at the party. I said we could try to summon a demon and make it do our bidding. I said it would be hilarious to see the reactions of the other guests. I said it would be harmless and fun. They both laughed and agreed to go along with my idea. They thought I was joking, too. They didn't know I was serious. They didn't know I was curious. They didn't know I was foolish. We arrived at the party, which was held at a large mansion owned by one of our classmates. The place was packed with people, music, and booze. We mingled and chatted with some of our friends, but we soon got bored and restless. We decided to find a quiet and secluded spot where we could try out the book. We sneaked into a library, which was empty and dimly lit. We locked the door behind us and placed the book on a table. We opened it and flipped through the pages, looking for a suitable spell. The book was written in a language we didn't recognize, but it had some illustrations and diagrams that gave us some clues. We found a page that showed a pentagram, a candle, and a knife. There was also a picture of a horned creature with red eyes and sharp teeth. We assumed it was the demon we wanted to summon. We followed the instructions as best as we could, drawing the pentagram on the floor with chalk, lighting the candle, and cutting our palms with the knife. We each dripped some blood on the book, and then we chanted the words we saw on the page. We didn't know what we were saying, but we said it with conviction and enthusiasm. We hoped it would work. We hoped it would be fun. We were wrong. As soon as we finished the chant, the book started to glow and shake. We heard a loud and sinister laugh, followed by a deep and raspy voice.
"Who dares to disturb me?"
the voice said. We looked at each other, shocked and scared. We realized we had made a terrible mistake. We had awakened something evil and powerful. We had unleashed a demon. We tried to close the book, but it was too late. The pages flew open, and a blast of dark energy knocked us off our feet. We felt a cold and slimy sensation on our legs, and we looked down to see what it was. We screamed in horror as we saw monstrous tentacles emerging from the book, wrapping around our ankles and pulling us towards it. We struggled and kicked, but it was useless. The tentacles were too strong and too many. We felt more of them grabbing our arms, our torsos, our necks. We felt them squeezing and crushing us. We felt them dragging us into the book, into the darkness, into the abyss. We cried out for help, but no one heard us. The music and the noise of the party drowned out our screams. We were alone and doomed. We looked at each other, one last time, with fear and regret in our eyes. We said goodbye, without words, with tears. We felt the tentacles pulling us harder, faster, deeper. We felt the pain, the cold, the terror. I woke up in a dark and damp place. I was lying on a hard and rough surface, covered in blood and dirt. I felt a sharp pain in my chest, and I coughed up some blood. I tried to move, but I couldn't. I was paralyzed and numb. I tried to remember what had happened, but I couldn't. I was confused and blank. I tried to see where I was, but I couldn't. I was blind and lost. I heard a loud and sinister laugh, followed by a deep and raspy voice.
Welcome to my domain, mortal.
the voice said.
You have been chosen as my plaything, my slave. You will suffer and serve me for eternity. You will know no joy, no peace, no hope. You will know only pain, fear, and despair. You will beg for death, but you will never die. You will curse your fate, but you will never escape. You are mine, and mine alone.
I recognized the voice. It was the demon we had tried to summon. It was the demon that had killed my friends. It was the demon that had taken me. I felt a surge of anger and hatred. I hated the demon for what it had done. I hated myself for what I had done. I hated the book for what it had brought. I hated the world for what it had become. I wanted to fight back, to resist, to rebel. I wanted to live, to escape, to survive. I wanted to avenge, to redeem, to repent. I wanted to do something, anything, to change my situation, but I couldn't. I was powerless and helpless. I was trapped and doomed. I heard the demon laugh again, louder and crueler.
Let the games begin,
it said. I felt a sudden and intense pain in my head, as if 1,000 needles were piercing my brain. I felt a wave of fear and dread, as if 1,000 nightmares were haunting my mind. I felt a flash of images and sounds, as if 1,000 memories were flooding my senses. I saw my friends, dead and mutilated. I saw my family, disappointed and ashamed. I saw my life, wasted and meaningless. I saw my future, dark and hopeless. I heard the demon, taunting and mocking. I heard my friends, crying and blaming. I heard my family, scolding and rejecting. I screamed, but no one listened. I cried, but no one cared. I prayed, but no one answered. I gave up. I don't know how long I was in that state. How long I endured that torture, how long I lost that will. It could have been minutes, hours, days, or years. Time had no meaning, no value, no purpose. I was in a limbo, a hell, a void, but then, something changed. Something happened. Something snapped. I felt a spark, a flicker, a glimmer. I felt a warmth, a light, a hope. I felt a voice, a whisper, a call. It was the book. It was still with me, somehow. It had followed me, somehow. It had survived, somehow. It was calling me, somehow. It was helping me, somehow. I heard the book, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul.
Use me,
it said.
Use me, and you will be free. Use me, and you will escape. Use me, and you will live.
I didn't understand, but I trusted. I didn't question. I didn't hesitate, but I acted. I reached out. I touched the book, with my thoughts, with my feelings, with my essence. I opened the book, with my will, with my desire, with my hope. I saw the pages, glowing and shaking. I saw the words, moving and changing. I saw the spells, forming and waiting. I chose one spell, at random, without thinking. I read it, aloud. I cast it, with faith, without fearing. It was a teleportation spell. I felt a blast of dark energy, and I was gone. I woke up on a soft and smooth surface, surrounded by flowers and grass. A light breeze was blowing on my face, and I could smell a sweet fragrance. I opened my eyes and looked around. I was in a forest, full of trees and flowers. The sun was shining, and the birds were singing. It was a beautiful and peaceful place. I felt a relief and a joy. I had escaped from the demon, from the darkness, from the hell. I had survived, by a miracle, by a chance, by a book. I had lived, against all odds, against all expectations, against all hopes. I smiled and laughed. I was free, I was happy, I was alive. But then, I heard a loud and sinister laugh, followed by a deep and raspy voice.
Did you really think you could get away from me, mortal?
The voice said.
Did you really think you could escape my wrath, my power, my domain? Did you really think you could cheat your fate, your doom, your destiny? You are foolish, naive, and ignorant. You are nothing, worthless, and pathetic. You are mine, and mine alone.
I recognized the voice. It was the demon, again. It had followed me, again. It had found me, again. I felt a terror and a despair. I had not escaped from the demon, from the darkness, from the hell. I had only delayed, by a moment, by a mistake, by a book. I had only prolonged, for a while, for a reason, for a purpose. I cried and screamed. I was trapped, I was doomed, I was dead. I looked up and saw the demon, hovering above me. It was a huge and hideous creature, with horns, wings, and claws. It had red eyes and sharp teeth, and it was smiling wickedly. It had tentacles, too, and they were reaching for me. I tried to run, but it was too fast. I tried to fight, but it was too strong. I tried to hide, but it was too smart. It caught me, easily, effortlessly, inevitably. It wrapped its tentacles around me, tightly, painfully, fatally. It lifted me up, high, higher, highest. It brought me close, to its face, to its mouth, to its teeth. It spoke, one last time, with a voice that chilled my blood, that broke my spirit, that crushed my soul.
Farewell, mortal.
It said.
You have been a fun toy. But now it is time to end that game. It's time to end your life. It's time to end this story.
It opened its mouth, wide, wider, widest. It bit me, hard, harder, hardest, but I didn't feel anything anymore.